August 2026. If your financial institution deploys AI for credit scoring, fraud detection, or risk modeling, that is your deadline. It is the exact deadline to comply with the EU AI Act's high-risk system obligations. Under Article 99, a bank with €5 billion in revenue faces a 6% penalty, a €300 million fine. This liability flows upward. A compliance failure activates governance frameworks, bringing personal consequences directly to the CISO and board. Let's look at what that enforcement actually looks like. It is Wednesday morning. A regulator from your national competent authority arrives for a scheduled examination of your fraud detection AI. They sit down and ask, "Show me your access controls. Prove your human oversight. Which credentials are active, and what is their scope?" Enterprise AI environments currently operate at a ratio of 82 non-human identities for every single human user. Attempting to answer these three questions manually across thousands of autonomous agents is mathematically impossible. The systems under scrutiny have likely been running in production for years. When the regulator is sitting across the table, you do not get to build your governance infrastructure retroactively. This inability to answer the regulator exposes a structural flaw in modern enterprise stacks. Your infrastructure knows how to authenticate an identity to verify who logged in. It has no mechanism to authorize the specific actions an AI agent takes after that login. Faced with these technical requirements, the standard response from security leadership is to simply extend existing identity and access management platforms to cover the AI workloads. Watch how an IAM platform operates. It is designed explicitly to govern human identity access at a predefined perimeter, granting entry to a specific resource type. The output is an authentication log. It confirms who logged into the network and at what time. The EU AI Act rejects that standard. Articles 13 and 26 require authorization decision logs. A regulator needs to see what an identity was permitted to do, what it actually executed, and whether those aligned continuously. When an autonomous AI agent passes the authentication perimeter, it immediately fractures into hundreds of unmonitored interactions with internal databases and APIs. An IAM system cannot evaluate per-action authorization, manage policy versioning, or execute continuous evaluation for these non-human workloads. Governing 82 non-human identities per human user with per-action enforcement is not a feature you toggle on in your current stack. It requires an entirely different product category. Other tools in your stack hit the exact same structural wall. A CAS only governs external cloud access for humans, and a SIEM aggregates events long after access is granted. Because a SIEM does not enforce permitted actions at the time of the request, it cannot produce the preemptive per-decision audit trail the regulator will demand during an active examination. When non-human agents outnumber humans 82-1, successfully logging the initial login of a service account provides zero actual visibility into your workload security. Your IAM platform is doing exactly what it was built to do. It is simply blind to the autonomous actions an AI agent executes the millisecond after that initial handshake. This brings us to the second major compliance failure, relying on AI safety tools to solve an AI security problem. Security teams frequently deploy behavioral guardrails to manage risk. These tools dictate how an AI model behaves, what it says, and how it responds to user prompts. Take a look at this operational flow. An AI agent receives a malicious prompt, runs it through a guardrail filter, and outputs a polite refusal, successfully passing your safety checks.
The AI was polite, but the guardrail did absolutely nothing to restrict the agent's underlying technical permissions within the network. A fully guardrailed AI agent can easily exfiltrate or manipulate customer data it was never structurally authorized to access in the first place. The EU AI Act does not reference guardrails. Articles 9 through 14 explicitly demand operational access controls, complete audit trails, and functional human oversight mechanisms. Deploying LLM safety tools to handle access governance directly violates the Article 25 mandate for systemic data protection by design. If your fraud model runs on a service account with read-all access to the database, that is a technical control failure. It does not matter how robust your privacy policy documents claim to be. Your AI safety program and your EU AI Act authorization infrastructure are completely separate technical obligations. A polite AI is not a secure AI. Behavioral conditioning tells an agent how to talk. It cannot replace mathematical, action-level enforcement at the access layer. To close this gap, security leaders must abandon static perimeter checks. The solution is a dynamic, continuous authorization layer protecting every internal system action. This illustrates the AI security fabric, an enforcement layer explicitly between every identity, resource, and system interaction. Runtime enforcement physically terminates unauthorized actions. Every attempt to exceed permitted scope is blocked before execution, moving security to preventative control. This architecture runs on policy as code. Authorization rules are written in Rego, versioned in Git, and tested in CI/CD pipelines. When updated, policy changes propagate dynamically to all enforcement points in seconds, allowing your security posture to evolve at engineering velocity. The operating principle here is continuous identity. Authorization is reevaluated at every single action against the current state of the policy. Unlike legacy session tokens, continuous authorization natively handles AI agents operating autonomously across extended, multi-day sessions without ever dropping governance. This extends directly to third-party risk. Every external model API interaction is explicitly policy-gated and verified against active contracts and data processing agreements. By automating non-human identity lifecycle governance and instantly detecting orphan credentials, this system systematically eliminates the 82-to-1 scale problem. Evaluating millions of non-human identity decisions continuously without breaking development requires a policy as code framework. Manual governance simply cannot scale. Let's return to that Wednesday morning examination. This time, the AI security fabric is fully operational in your production environment. When the regulator asks their first question, you open this dashboard. You instantly demonstrate that the fraud model's identity is registered with a strict least privilege policy scoped exactly to its specific workflow. For the second question, you prove operational human oversight by showing logs where high-risk AI executions were blocked at the enforcement gate, pending human approval. For the third question, you confirm all external API calls were policy-gated, demonstrating how a compliance officer can revoke any specific access in seconds. The ultimate output is a complete authorization audit trail. It explicitly details what the AI was permitted to do, what it attempted to do, and the exact result of every action. This architecture automatically generates the specific Article 43 conformity assessment evidence required by the regulator, compiled from the very first day of deployment. The EU AI Act does not care whether your AI was polite. It only cares whether its actions were explicitly authorized.